Okay, it says I'm live. I look a little cattywampus. Oh, let's see. Oh, that makes it worse. That's better. Now I'm vertical, although the doorway looks a little bizarre.
You can use my wreath for show and tell today.
Oh, there you
go. Shows up.
All righty. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Well, it'd be nice to know what the community guidelines were. Anyhow, just basically killing a little time here, making sure I'm up and running before the 6 o'clock witching hour. There's 3 people watching. I think that's what that little icon means. And 3 thumbs up. So anyhow, if people can start checking in so I know who's out there, I'd appreciate it. Oh, it has been a busy 3 days. I got finished selling trees. What was that? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday.
Are you ready here yet?
I don't know. What's that? I've lost somebody, I think. Is that number of people watching?
I think so. I'm not sure.
It was 3 just a
But
minute ago.
nobody's said anything to you yet.
Now it's 3 again. Oh, the population is fluctuating enormously. But now it's 4. Maybe that's people waiting. I'm supposedly live. You want to check, little one? See if I'm up? And so, hey, Cherokee. So once I was done selling trees, this year at least they didn't show up suddenly and saying, yeah, we're tearing down the tent tonight. You can get done. So I was able to do it in much more
yep, you're live.
Kind of structured manner. Hello, William. And
I don't have chat. There it is. It's all the way down the bottom now for some bizarre reason.
Who knows? It's YouTube. Hello, Stephen. And so anyhow, that made it kind of nice. Thursday, Christmas Eve, I was able to just basically go out there and get things set up for fireworks. I actually delivered my fireworks on Wednesday. So I was not only getting everything straightened around at the end of Christmas tree season, but also getting the fireworks organized and inventoried and everything else. And so that gives me kind of a jump on it. Everyone else is going to get their fireworks delivered tomorrow morning. And then they're going to have to inventory them and this, that, and the other. Basically, all my stuff is sitting out there. I got to set up the tables, move it onto the tables, and that's about it. Plan is not to come in. Now, I've got, 50 different kinds of fireworks, basically. And the way the system works is they get delivered in a batch. There's a whole group of them in cases and stuff, and it's inventoried, etc. And it's all done by computer. As I sell them, the computer knocks them off the inventory, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the gig, I take the unsold stock, pack it in boxes, put it back on pallets. The truck comes by, picks up the pallets, and takes them off. And the fireworks company, in this case it's Phantom, they only essentially charge Clint for the fireworks actually sold. So in that way, it's a very efficient system. Now, let's say the computer controller, as I'm scanning the fireworks for sale, it adjusts the inventory, etc. So it's just a matter of setting up the tables tomorrow, covering them with the big Phantom fireworks plastic stuff, and setting things out and getting things ready to go. So it should be fairly easy. However, the last 3 days I've been working my butt off, getting ready to go up to Montana. There's a lot of things that need to be done, organized, sorted, and put in the vehicles and stuff. Christmas Day, I pretty much got all the food sorted. See, part of the problem is we're going up where it's the term is, I believe, sub-freezing. And with canned goods, this is less than optimal if you don't have insulation. And the only thing we have that's well insulated is, of course, the Bago. So I had to put all the canned goods underneath the bed of the Bago, which is not a huge problem, but it, is a bit of work to take off all the bedding, flip the bed half over, get everything stocked underneath, flip the deck back over again, put all the bedding back in. And then it was the dry goods into the trailer, start sorting that. Yesterday was mainly the trip concentrator. I wanted to make some modifications while I still have a shop. And so I was busy doing that. And by the end of the day yesterday, I had ammunition loaded, a bit of tools organized, ready to load, and the big stuff loaded, the trip concentrator, the external tub, the impact mill, the RC46. They were in the trailer by the end of the day, but not yet secured. Today, secure all that stuff, load all the tools, clean up all the mining stuff, the whole 9 yards. So it's been a long day, again. However, we're currently basically loaded. We could depart without difficulty on 1 hour notice at this point and not leave anything behind. There's a couple things that aren't quite sorted. That will be New Year's Day. The day after New Year's, they come to pick up the unsold fireworks. And after that, all I got to do is settle up with Clint, and we can hit the road. Our present plan is to hit the road the 3rd, roughly. We would like to be north of Salt Lake City by the 6th when they start counting the electoral votes or arguing about counting the electoral votes.
Don't use that word, Bear.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyhow, there's something going on the 6th that we're not allowed to discuss because, they might shut down my live stream again. Hey, Lucas. And so I say we'd like to be north of Salt Lake City. That'll give us a straight run to Helena. COVID lockdowns, we're kind of worried about that. Who knows what the hell they're going to come up with, especially down here in Arizona where we've got a governor and a mayor that we're dealing with that are not highly resistant to such things. We will have a substantial amount of fuel in the trailer. Hey, Jacob. And so, yeah, by the time we get past Salt Lake, we're self-contained all the way. As long as the vehicle keeps rolling, we'll be able to make it with no further support. The scheduling, as I've described on the subject that must not be mentioned, puts us there a little bit ahead of time. I'm going to be checking to see if the quarters will be available any earlier. I know it's theoretically going to be vacated like the 10th. And if we're north of Salt Lake on the 6th, well, it's only, about 1 day further up. Now there's somebody who wanted to see me at Twin Bridges. If you want to extend it a little bit, or if there's somebody else, again, north of Salt Lake, that wants us to come by, stop by for a day or two, that would work out just perfectly. We'd ideally like to show up in Helena on the 11th. And we can certainly, all we really need for comfort in the Bago under these conditions in terms of sleeping and stuff is 110 volt outlet to plug in our electric room heater. And we'll be just snug as a bug in a rug. So I say, if there's somebody north of Salt Lake and south of Helena that wants us to come by on the I-15 route, we're going to go I-15 Dillon, the back road through Twin Bridges up to I think it's I-90. Then I-90 east to Three Forks, and then north to Helena. That's a fairly flat run. It's going to be some hills, but not, big giant mountains. So that shouldn't be too bad. Our worst grades are going to be the Verde Valley in Arizona. There's a short grade going uphill at Page, just before Page, and then a short steep downgrade going into Hurricane. Aside from that, it's hills. And they're significant size hills, but not that bad. So assuming there's no major issues with the Bago, we should be fine. Okay, Lucas. Where's my little clipboard here? Let me give you hardrocku@outlook.com. If you can email me and give me your phone number and stuff, then I can call you up and we can make arrangements. That would be fine. I'd love to just stop by and chat for a day or so, if nothing else. I mean, the situation is going to be dynamic, fluid, whatever you want to call it. I mean, we're going to be watching what's going on and adjusting from that point. If things are nice and calm, we can slow down, 100 miles south of Salt Lake City. I'm trying to think right off the bat. Hi, Justin. Let's see. North of Cedar, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what would be right there, but I know the area. It's nice run there. It's what I call high speed, low drag. It's gentle upgrades, gentle downgrades, but basically just straight. Nephi? Okay. Yep. Sure.
We know
Love
where
to.
that is.
If there's not any reason why we have to keep speeding on, we'd be love to. Yeah, that'd be great. So,
Oh, yeah, I like
let's say,
Utah's cool.
send me an email with your phone number there, and we'll check. This brings up a couple of things. First of all, Scott sent me some capsaicin cream. I appreciate it. It did help a little bit.
Gotta keep using it according to the box.
There's a thing right about here on my neck. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a little sensitive to that. So I'm going to have Eva be pretty specific over here with it the next time. Hey, winging it. Yeah, we're gonna bypass Las Vegas whenever possible. My daughter lives there though. And another thing is Idaho Rogers. You might have seen him last week. He sent me an email with his phone number, and I called it on Christmas Day. It's Christmas evening. And hi, Jimmy.
Hi,
And
Jimmy.
son
Hi,
of a gun, if he wasn't overnighting in Tucson.
Hi, Lucas.
So I persuaded him to come over here. He was somewhat self-conscious because he'd been on the road for 4 days or whatever. And it's like, don't worry about it here. And so I was able to go over there and pick him up, bring him on over. We spent a couple hours yakking. He's from a ranching farming background. Eva used to spend the summers on her grandmother's farm in Maine, and they were talking about the personalities of cattle and things like that.
I know cows.
They were having a really good time. And he had some questions about a particular location, so he looked it up on YouTube, and not YouTube, Google Earth, and we looked it over, and I gave him some suggestions and everything. And I say it was a really great time.
Oh, you got to show them my wreath too.
Oh, show and tell time.
Yeah. For those who are curious, that's what I do.
This is a wreath that Eva made. This is out of grand fir, just basically trimmings of the trees we were selling.
And
And
Nordman, I believe.
there's a little Nordman in there?
I think there's Nordman in that
I
one.
don't know.
Yeah, there's some Nordman in there.
Nordman too. It smells really good. But anyhow, it's a very pretty thing, so I brought it home. And
Merry Christmas, Blindside, late. Merry Christmas, everybody, but that's one of my wreaths.
yeah, she makes good
See,
wreaths.
I rock the wreath game, dudes and dudettes, just totally.
And so, let's see, anything.
Oh, they do smell nice, Blindside.
Yep.
We had some really nice trees this year. It's too bad so many of them ended up being tossed.
Yeah, the season started pretty good. Apparently, we weren't there for the first weekend, but it slowed down. I think the people who really wanted a tree and had the money and such got jumped right into it, and then it kind of tapered off. I'm not even sure if I'm into bonus money this year. I hope I am, but we shall see. I haven't gotten an accounting from Clinton yet, and say we still, Eva's got some pay coming for cashiering, and Tommy for being a lot helper there. So say we got some money coming in there, and say we should be in pretty good shape for the trip, because what I'm going to do too, because of the piston issue, which was probably caused by detonation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill my passenger side tank with premium, my driver's side tank with regular. When I'm just cruising across the flat, I'll run on the driver's side tank. When I get an upgrade, switch to the passenger side tank. And Jimmy, we're planning at this point to leave on the 3rd of January, and getting, I say we just, the target basically is to get north of Salt Lake by the 6th. Now, if things are calm, I mean, we're now planning on stopping at Nephi, just south of Salt Lake for a bit, for a day or so. And if everything's calm, we'll just head on up there after that. We do have to kill a little bit of time along the route if we're going to be Salt Lake or just north by the 6th. And that's why. Jimmy, are you the one in Twin Bridges? I think you are. Yeah, I also dropped the timing to 4 degrees before top dead center. It was supposed to be set at 6, although factory is 8. But I've been told that the factory sucks. You want to back it off at least a couple. And my really good mechanic son-in-law, he said, yeah, back it off all the way to 4. It's not going to hurt anything. It won't hurt your power, your economy very much, but it'll sure, help out with the detonation. So I just reset it yesterday and made sure that it was locked in at 4 degrees before top dead center. And I have a timing light with me, so I can check it when I'm on the way. Silver Star, 10 miles north of Twin Bridges. Exactly. Yeah, Jimmy, we would like to stop by for a day or two. And again, email me at hardrocku@outlook.com. And get me your phone number there, and we can talk it over and get all the details. And we'll go from there. Goldstream, you may be correct. I disconnected the vacuum advance as the normal procedure, and it's at 4 degrees before top dead center without vacuum. when I hooked the vacuum advance back up, it didn't change. For all I know, the vacuum advance is screwed up. We are planning on staying in Montana till the end of summer. You know, theoretically, come down here around end of September when it starts getting cold and snowy and stuff up there again. We're headed up there basically to make sure we're not trapped behind tumultuous lines. How's that? I got to be careful what you say nowadays. And the algorithm is watching you. And so we've advanced our departure date. We were planning on heading up probably April or May to get going again on stuff up there in Montana. We got 3 different people up there that are interested in doing certain things and this and that, and we'll see how it all works out. I've got one guy up there that if he gets the money through, he'd want me to help him do underground sampling as soon as I get up there. So we'll see. Well, Gulfstream, I'm not sure how I check advance at speed. What am I supposed to do? Rev it up to like 1500 while still keeping the timing light going? Hey, Smokin'. Let me know what the procedure is on that, Gulfstream. But anyhow, I'll say we're planning on staying up there basically till the weather closes in again. And then we'll evaluate. It is nice being flexible, you know, without kids and without a specific job where I have to be a particular place. That gives us flexibility in terms of exactly what we're doing. We just kind of look at the situation, the opportunities, etc., and you know, play it by ear as we go. But that's all I can say about that. If you can predict the future with 100% certainty, I can tell you what we're going to do. I can't. All right, Blindside, that'd be great. Again, you can always comment on a video if you don't know my email or whatever, and just I'll get back to you and we'll start from there. But yeah, I should be up there, let's say, at least till end of September. And we may stay up there forever, basically. We may move our base of operations. The kettle corn business down here is not doing that much anymore. See what happens. Hey, Sailing. And first, how's it going? Merry Christmas. And I'd also like to spend a little time up there and do some fishing this year. I never had a chance to go fishing. This works. A dual timing light to get total advance. Okay, I'll see what I can do. I can't hear any pinging. You know, we dropped the compression from whatever we had. We had flat top pistons. Now we have dish top pistons. So that's cut the compression probably from about. We're doing a number of things that should have improved the situation a lot. We'll see what happens, and we'll see how it runs. The one thing that's kind of annoying me is I have 2 temperature gauges. There's the factory head temperature gauge, and the other one is a direct reading immersion type temperature gauge that's you know, in the radiator hose housing where it comes out of the engine. And that temperature gauge is doing what it's supposed to be doing, although it didn't drop as much as I thought it should when I put in a cooler thermostat last spring. But the other one, I know there's something wrong with the gauge. I just replaced the sending unit. I can't find a problem with the wire. I'm guessing it's the gauge. But when you get in the car, turn on the ignition, and the gauge is pegged hot, I mean past the hot, you know you've got a dead short somewhere. You know, something's radically wrong. And then it starts working reasonably normally, but it's running hotter than I think it should. I don't know. whatever. Yeah, I'm not a big engine dude, Goldstream. I say I've got people I know that I think part of it was when we went to get a set of new pistons, the guy at the machine shop couldn't seem to find a set of flat tops, but he could find a set of dish tops. And so we just got those and it worked out. It seems to be running fine. I don't care if it wins any races. I just want to make sure it finishes all the races. You know. Hi, Earl. I mean, that's the thing. Reliability and torque are a lot more important than power. You know, I just wanted to be able to go up the hills. If I got a downshift, I don't care. You know, it'd be nice if I was just powering right up in third gear, but I don't think the tranny would handle it. You know. Yeah, I'm sure you're vastly more experienced than me. I say it would be nice. I had Jim help me replace the pistons and stuff. He was a tremendous amount of help, and I appreciate it. But I say it would be nice to, you know, if my son-in-law was here, it'd be great. Dude's a great mechanic, you know. Yeah, I agree, Blindsight. You know, I say just I don't think I'm going to be worried about just putting my foot in it, going up the grades. I'll put it, you know, 75, 80% throttle and then use whatever gear I have to. I think that's probably the easiest on everything. Colder heat range plugs would reduce detonation. Okay. We'll see what happens. And yeah, it's just, I say, this is an exfiltration under duress, and I just want to make sure we get there. It's also not the time of year I would normally choose to head to Montana. Both for, you know, this is not the time that Montana is the most pleasant. It's also not the time driving is the safest. I'm debating whether or not to get a set of tire chains. I really should have at least 4 chains, 2 for the trailer, 2 for the back axle of the truck. And then once I get up there, I'd have, you know, 1 for each tire on the truck. But that would give me more controllability. But I really do not intend on driving on any kind of ice or snow. If there's ice or snow, it's park it time, you know. Where are you at, Earl? Okay, Goldstream. So if the, are you talking the electrodes or the insulators are white? I know that spark plugs are really talkative if you can speak their language. I haven't had that course. They look, the ones, you know, that I see light brown right now, you know, they don't look bad. Don't have big deposits or anything like that. About 40 miles north of Spokane, huh? Yep. The porcelain. Okay, insulator. Yeah. So that's the sort of situation where we just stop. What's the 10-day forecast for Salt Lake, little one?
10-day forecast for Salt Lake. Let me check.
We should be within range of that now.
Okay, Salt Lake City.
Lean fuel can melt down a piston in no time.
During the day,
Okay.
30 degrees tomorrow, going up to 40 degrees on the 3rd, 38, 40 on the 4th and 5th. Nights, teens to 20s.
Sunday the 3rd, rain. Monday the 4th, rain. Tuesday the 5th, rain.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Just fantastic traveling weather. What is it? 38 degrees and rain.
Well, it goes up to 40 degrees and rain on the 5th.
As long as we're on the freeway, that's not bad. I mean, because you're not going to hit ice at those temperatures. on the freeway. The trucks will keep it warmer than that. Hey, Rick, how's it going? Yes, I understand that part, winging it. I do know that much about spark plugs. My son-in-law, I can't remember these things. My son-in-law suggested that a hotter plug might do good for better combustion. I'll just leave the plugs that are in it right now and see how it runs. Idaho, Washington border along I-90. Okay, yeah, Coeur d'Alene area, stuff like that, huh? Yep. So anyhow, the shoulder is still not healed up. Oh, I took another splat the other day. I was moving stuff around and tripped over something while carrying something. Managed to twist a little bit, so I landed on my right side. I landed in a position where nothing really got hurt, but the shock was pretty severe. And I went, thud! Neck was hurt. I mean, everything was hurting. Yeah, that's the thing. There was no detectable, audible knocking of anything. But he said, looking at it, he said, this looks like detonation. Yes, the rod bearings had what he said were excessive wear. I'm not an expert. Jim said, yeah, that looks like detonation. So that's, I say, that's where we got, reduce the compression, back off the timing a little bit, run premium on the uphill grades. That's one nice thing about dual tanks. I can run regular on the flat and premium on the uphills, just flip a switch. I could even theoretically put an octane booster in the passenger tank on top of the premium. In those areas where it's got 93 octane, I could, fill up with that. So say that's the basic plan there. Let's see, where is it? For those of you that saw my latest video, this is the gold from it. Wow, try and get the where are the best? Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, it's 2.3 grams of fine and microfine gold there. And Ryan will come pick that up before we take off. I was testing a new concept in terms of pan cleaning it. It seemed to work out okay. Not super duper, but not bad. I think I got probably 90% of the gold and got it like 90% pure. Yeah, I understand. I got four-wheel drive too, but the thing is I'm also towing a big trailer. Do not use octane booster. Okay. Okay, thank you, Smokin'. I appreciate that. I won't. Yeah, I say my plan is if it's icy, stay off the frickin' road. I'm not used to driving on ice, and if it looks like it's going to ice, we're looking at the weather. Get off the road before it cools down that much, and stay off until it warms up the next day. We're driving a small home. We don't have to move if it's hazardous to move. We just go in the back, Oh yeah, we're headed up to Montana. Scheduled departure date right now is the 3rd. Oh yeah, Gulfstream. I understand. So say we just it's driven by external factors. Believe me, I'd prefer to go up in April, but because we're driving the camper, it's well insulated and stuff like that. To me, um, less than good road conditions is too hazardous to attempt unless there's something life threatening going on. I say I'll just pull off the damn road. Eva's going to be watching weather conditions on her smartphone. We'll be keeping an eye on everything ahead of us. And if it looks like it's going to close in, just pull over to truck stop somewhere. And, if we got to sit there for a couple of days, we got to sit there a couple of days. What the hell? I'll do a live stream from the truck stop. Yes, I agree, Blindsight. Be careful. Number one, that's the key, is be careful. I've got the trailer loaded lighter than it could be because we're basically just taking clothes, food, guns and ammo, mining equipment. That's it. A few other little things. Eva's got her collection of years of, what's that magazine?
Mother Earth News.
Mother Earth News and stuff like that. And so I just, I do not like driving in the wintertime, but we'll just use our heads. Once we're out of Arizona, I'll feel better. Once we're north of Salt Lake, I'll feel basically safe. At that point, we can get to Helena at our leisure, and I won't be too worried about timing. I just want to make sure I get north of Salt Lake before crap hits the fan and lockdowns go into effect or whatever else. Yeah. We're going up to Helena, Montana, Rick. Say once we get to Helena, from the 11th on, we'll have accommodations available and part-time work already lined up. And then I'll start working on getting some other stuff. I would like Eva to figure out which alternate platform we want to start transferring some of our
That's what I'm going to do
movies
there.
to. And
it's looking like Rumble, folks.
okay.
Though I may also put them on BitChute.
Okay. We'll see. But we want to get off of YouTube. Well, not necessarily get off of YouTube, but certainly get alternatives to YouTube for a variety of reasons, which you can't talk about on YouTube, which is one of the reasons. I agree, smoking. And one nice thing about that is, first of all, it'll be a fresh start. And I've got 93 videos or something at this point. And so I can whittle them out and only take, 1 out of 4, still wind up with like 50 videos and really improve the quality. As time has gone over the years, I've learned a lot of stuff. There's been some just routine stuff and some good stuff and things like that. So I think a fresh start on a new platform might be very useful. We shall see. Seismic activity was dead. What do you mean scary? You mean there's absolutely nothing in seismic activity when normal there's some background? I will probably go with Hard Rock University there too. Diversify the options for your audience. Yeah, in terms of which one they want to go to, absolutely. I also think that depending on how things work out in the next month, which is all you can say, I think YouTube may have some issues to deal with,
Well, since they're censoring the president's videos now.
Yeah, I agree. First, they really can't control. They can throttle information, but they can't control it. And I think the next month is really, really critical, and that's why we want to be up someplace where we feel the environment is going to be more predictable than down here. Let's see. Little one, watch on yours. Here's what I'm going to try and do, Lucas. I'm going to try and open up another window and see if I can look at that, and we'll see if the camera continues to transmit while I do that. Now, everyone, little patience here. I'm experimenting, so I'm not sure what's going on. Here we go. You watching, little one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm watching.
Okay. Am I still up live?
Yeah, you seem to be still up live.
Okay, because I'm on another tab now. Let's see. Yep, there you are, Lucas. Let me move that to my inbox. Move to inbox. I'm still on the video, little one?
Yes, you're still on the video.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I learned something new tonight. I can still transmit even if I'm not seeing myself on the screen.
Yeah, it is awesome. You learned something, Lucas. Cool.
Okay, there's a 10-digit number there without any dashes. I presume that's your phone number because it's way too long to be a zip code. All righty, I've got it. Lucas, here I'm replying.
Yeah, blind sight. The old YT is getting very strange lately. There seems to be a 404
I just sent
pandemic going on the internet anyway. A lot of stuff has become 404.
Yeah.
Including videos by public officials on YT.
Hey, Rick, Alan Robertson is the caretaker for the family of the guy I'm working for down here. Small world, huh? Yeah, it's pretty funny. Let's see. Well, let's hope Yellowstone doesn't go. That would be unpleasant. Well, that was cool. It still keeps transmitting on the camera while I'm looking at something else. Sweet. I wonder what Chris hasn't shown up tonight. Let me text him and see. It just doesn't seem like a live stream without Chris on there. Let's see. Good Lord. Not the last. Yeah, okay. Let's notice flip phone. High tech. It's so funny because this is so smart that if you put a letter like C for Chris, it looks for C's in any part of the words, not just the first letter. How bizarre. Okay. Let him know. See if he checks in. Hey, he might be on a date. Who knows? You know? Is that a jitterbug? It's a Verizon Kyocera phone. And so we shall see if he just wasn't in touch with his. I think
Hi, Robert.
I think I put it up. You know, it
New
was
Hampshire
scheduled
Bob is
about
here.
4:30, 4:30 or something.
New Hampshire Bob is here. Bear Robert.
New Hampshire Bob, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
All kinds of people are here, and Lucas is mailing us a pic.
Okay. That's cool. I could actually look at it. And the next thing I got to learn how to do is show something while I'm doing a live stream. You know, actually like a picture of something or something like that, and go. You know, that'll be my next step in the giant learning curve of electron herding. Ooh, I hate doing that. Anyhow, let's see. Now, according to my screen, we got 23 people watching right now, right, little one? Is that what you see?
I see 23, yes.
Okay. Okay, so I now know for sure what that icon means. And for all you new people that just came in, still planning on heading up to Montana, scheduled departure date right now is the 3rd of January. Virtually everything is loaded. Tools, clothes, food, guns, ammo, you know, all that stuff. There's a few little things like some office things, you know, paperwork and such from gold mining, and my personal clothes and the actual guns. I mean, the guns aren't loaded yet. Some of the stored ammo is. The ready ammo and the guns are still sitting there in the bedroom. Yeah, I agreed, Rick. I mean, all I want a phone to do is phone. But it's nice having Eva with her smartphone. You know, she's playing navigator and information coordinator and all this other stuff. I'm just driving. Ask questions. She finds answers for me. I like that. Could be right now. I think I'm still on Windows 7. Yeah. The mining season is pretty short, although there is a guy in Helena that if the financing comes through for what he's trying to do, he may have a month or two of underground sampling for me to do with him. And underground, the temperature doesn't vary that much. In the winter, it's cold. You know, in the summer, it's cool. In the winter, it's cold. But, you know, not too bad usually. Not taking the hydromatic. I'm taking my trip concentrator. That's my experimental concentrator. It's more compact than the Keen. It uses the same principles. Seems to do a pretty good job on Ryan's ore. I'm not sure how well it will do on other stuff at this point. As a matter of fact, I just added some stuff to it 2 days ago. Or was I guess yesterday. And I haven't even tested that part of it out yet. But so I will have a concentrator. I'm going to have the RC46. So I can use the jaw for jaw crushing. I can use the jaw plus rolls for sampling. And I've got the impact mill. And I've got the trip concentrator. And the secondary settling tub. So I've got a complete mill setup with me, roughly 200 pounds an hour. I managed to even get a stick welder in there. I need to find a 220 volt outlet to plug it into, but I mean, I've got rod and a welder. I did not bring a mask because I'm going to get a new one up there. If I need the welder, I'm going to get a new mask. The ones I got down here are kind of old. Yeah. And so that's, you know, the basic plan. I have 27. 27 what, Lucas? Snowmobile, yeah. Snowmobile. That just sounds scary. That implies snow, which implies sub-freezing. To a desert rat, that seems like on another planet. Yeah, I can imagine that, Ethan. There's places where a snow machine is the way to go. I think Helena, from what I understand, it's got about as moderate a climate as you can find in Montana. And so it's not nearly as much of a problem as many other places in Montana. But they say we shall find out. We have a nice warm place to stay. So that's it. That's another interesting experience. I know that the circulation in my hands now is such that I'm going to want warm gloves. Let's see. Okay, Lucas. So I'm going to go back to Lucas's email here. Well, let's see. I see one. Clicky poo. There it is. Oh. Looks like maybe pelletized iron. Let's see. What have you got, Lucas? Yeah, I agree. It looks like pelletized iron. I'm not sure what. Well, first, I've got a balaclava. Just bought one of those. And so we'll see. I understand, Rick. Personally, I like about 55 to 60 degrees, with an overcast for work. Not rain, just overcast to keep the sun off. I've been irradiated enough.
There, you are entirely too pessimistic about this.
Goldstream, if you ever live in snow-free country, I'll never leave. Well, it can be done. Although, I don't know. You're in Canada right now, I think, so I don't know if you can travel to the United States right at the moment. Who knows? Well, Ethan, if you were working in the wintertime, if there was water, and you might get it from groundwater in the mine, you could get your equipment up there during warmer season and then just basically haul fuel. And that wouldn't be too bad.
Oh, wow, the CDC has gone double think again now.
Yeah, prospecting under the snow would be kind of difficult, I would think. I want to go visit the Singing Rocks on the Montana Continental Divide. Okay, look that one up, little one. What are the Singing Rocks? Montana. Yeah, Jimmy, we want to keep kind of a low elevation route.
Too, then. Ringing rocks, singing boulders in Montana. They're ringing rocks.
You tap them and they ring? Is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm about to find out. Unique geological formation approximately 18 miles east of Butte and north of I-90 on BLM land, just beyond the Pipestone Trailhead.
Okay, stop a minute. 30 miles east of Butte?
18 miles east of Butte and north on I-90 on BLM land.
That would be like real close to where we're going, just getting up there.
Just beyond the Pipestone Trailhead. The rocks in this geologic area chime when tapped with a hammer. Rough road to get there, but worth the time and effort. Pipestone, Montana.
That sounds good. I'd like to do that. Oh, viewers. Oh, okay. Goldstream, you are not Canuckian. You are Canuckistani. Uncle Bumblefuck says so. Okay.
And rocks of this type are used in making lithophones.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah, Goldstream, when we were in Oregon and coastal California, yeah, it's like, where's the soil even? You know, it can be hard. I call it uh, Oregon ground mold. You know, it just covers everything. I don't like being without Eva. I do not. I like being with her, and I think she likes me being with her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bear is my home. Wherever Bear is, it's home. That's it. Yeah, we got to go to Pipestone, Montana.
Hey, Chris, what happened? Did you not get a notification? Uh, wow, weird. Again, wasn't that the same thing that happened last time? Or I think you got a notification, but you didn't get notified we were live streaming, something like that. Uh,
I'm going to put the video on over here and turn the volume up for a minute
okay.
so I can hear them.
Yeah, Ethan, that's it. It sounds pretty cool.
So I can hear them.
Okay, she's got the video of the ringing rocks there. And what would that be first?
Wow, they look really weird.
That's pretty good first. First Squadron says, we have the most devastating weapon known to people. We put Trudeau in a pillow and throw him over your border.
Wow, look at this.
That is amazing. You can't really see it, but I mean, it's like a scree slope.
Yeah.
And virtually everything is ringing. I wonder what the lithography of that is. Huh. Yeah, we'll have to go there, Lou. I'm sure you. Wow, that was hilarious. Man, that's amazing. Yeah, I'd love to do that sometime.
Yeah, it's right up in our neck of the woods.
Okay, Lucas. Yeah, I want to go fishing. I don't know where my trout poles got off to. Honestly, I've got a medium salt rod spinning rod and reel, and I can't find the small ones. I mean, I had little collapsible stuff, and but I can buy what I need at Walmart or whatever. But yeah, I do want to go fishing.
Hi, Chris.
And there is the Missouri right there.
You missed seeing the Christmas wreaths that I make, dude. That's what you missed.
Oh, okay. I'll get the wreath. Oh, the pain. Oh. Here we go.
Rick says we've got a giant range of rocks like that in Oz, shaped like hexagons, sound like giant glockenspiels. That sounds totally cool, Rick. If they're hexagonal shaped, they are columnar basalt, probably.
Probably.
There's one of my wreaths, Chris.
Sorry you can't get the smell through the camera there. But yeah, there's a wire frame inside that, and she takes the tips and puts them in and bends the wire down. The
Ring Rocks, Pluton, Montana is what I'm about to look up right now.
Yeah, Jimmy, that's what we're planning.
The Ringing Rocks Pluton is the deep-seated vent for a volcano which erupted 76 million years ago. The Pluton is that it is an example of magma mixing in a conduit, specifically between olivine basalt and granitic magmas. Mixing of the magmas created a hybrid rock type which crystallized against the outer wall of the conduit. After millions of years of uplift and erosion, the thin walls of hybrid rock were exposed to the surface.
That's not cedar on this, but yeah, cedar would smell pretty good too.
It's a small-scale intrusive ring complex with a high degree of symmetry.
Oh,
So that tells you something about it.
okay. You want to take over for a minute? Gonna
Yeah, I can take over.
let my
for a
co-pilot run things for a moment here. Oh,
Hi, everybody. So we are almost completely packed. I got all my clothes packed. We got everything packed. I found him wool socks, which is really kind of cool. And we got to talk to my younger son on Christmas morning. We video called him wherever he is in the world doing army weird stuff. Hi. Yeah, I make really nice wreaths, Earl. I can rock the wreaths. You should see the ones I make that are cross shaped. They are so pretty. Yeah, blind sight. Those particular rocks don't ring anymore when you remove them, but there are some that you actually can move and they will ring that come from other places. They make lithophones out of them. I've seen them. It's really cool. I am looking forward to going up there. Yes, Chris. We've got a couple of Baofeng radios on the way that are ham capable for little handheld things, and I'm going to connect with the local ham people in Montana when we get up there and find out about taking the tests, etc. I am absolutely confident I should have no problem at all passing the tests. I've been looking at the sample questions, etc., online and studying, so that's a cool thing. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm also pretty sure the ham community up there can put me in touch with what kind of equipment we need and things for bigger stuff. But I am definitely looking forward when the weather warms up a little to going to look at those ringing rocks in Montana. That is just so cool. Thank you for telling me about those. Well, Rick, I actually like the Christmas tree stuff. I just wish we had gotten in all the weekends instead of missing the first one.
your head's too high. I can't do it. There we go.
Yeah, you really should take the damn test, Chris. You know, I mean, though I did see something online. Apparently, back in February, your governor out there was talking about putting in massive taxes and fees for repeaters in California that are on public land. I don't know whatever happened with that, but you know, your governor does all kinds of weird stuff. Okay, I will keep that in mind. And even if I can't broadcast, at least I can listen if there's anybody out there. I'll figure out how to use them when we get them. And here is the bear again.
Oh. Oh. Well, Chris, it is interesting. It's different. What I really hate is running 300 feet of hose to water the trees and having to roll it all up again. You know, that's probably the most annoying part. And there were days where it was really slow. You know, you go 3 or 4 hours between customers, you better have a good book. And another thing we want to do is, you know, the portables we eventually settle on, I want something that'll do the guard frequencies too. When we're out in the middle of nowhere, you know, sometimes a passing aircraft is the only thing you're going to be able to get a hold of. You didn't bring a panning set. What are you talking about, Chris? I've got the crusher, the pulverizer, the trip concentrator, a whole box of pans and sieves. Oh yeah, got plenty. Hey, how's it going, Idaho? It was great seeing you the other day. That was fun. We enjoyed that immensely. For those of you who missed it, Idaho Rogers happened to be in Tucson on Christmas Day, which was the day he emailed me, and I was able to call him up on his phone. He's like, "Yeah, I'm just right down the road here." So we had him over, and it was fantastic. We had a great time.
Hi, Idaho.
Yep. Bowfang radio works better with a Nagoya NA771 antenna.
Okay.
Man.
I will remember that, winging it. We actually, if I remember rightly, the ones that I ordered are the ones with the longer antenna rather than the stubby antenna. And yes, I do cook a mean pot roast. Absolutely.
She loves pot roast. Yep. But she's pretty good. It was nice to be able to give you a little hospitality when you're on the road Christmas Day. That was really cool. Thank you. Oh, 24 people, the usual crowd on a Sunday night, I think. Anyhow, yeah, Chris, I was wondering why you hadn't showed up. It seemed awfully out of character, so that's why I texted you. I'm not sure what's going on there. You're still trying to recover from the prime rib, huh? Well, that's because you're more successful. If you were as poor as us, you would have just had pot roast. So, anyhow, as I say, we had a nice, quiet Christmas. Next time, just call, don't text, huh? You responded quick enough. Ever try a spiral pan? No, I have not. Although if I get a chance, I will definitely give it a shot. It might also be really interesting to try working on the concentrates and see how well it works. First, we're in a location where, what's that thing? Resistance is futile. When you're heavily outnumbered, there's not much you can do except fall back to a more defensible position. Eva also has a very strong intuitive sense that's quite often correct. And therefore, when it says Montana or South Dakota, and we've got a good support structure in Montana, just go to Montana. We're not giving up. It's a strategic retreat, so to speak. And we'll consider what to do once we get there. Let's see. Smoking, it will depend on your location and the analysis of the water. If it is basically clean water, then I don't know of any jurisdictions where they would have a big problem with you putting it into the water courses. If it has contamination, then yeah, you could have some issues there. Say if it's clean, potable water and such, shouldn't be a problem. But if it's contaminated, yes, it can be a problem. I think Chris's comment means even at California, even if it was good quality water, they'd have an issue. We do want to come to Australia sometime, Rick. We definitely do. Although Eva has an issue Not snakes. Doesn't bother her a bit, even deadly snakes. Spiders, on the other hand, are something that she really, really doesn't like, especially something that's as big as a dinner plate and quite venomous, like a huntsman. So I'm not exactly sure what, but yeah, we would love to go to Australia sometime. We'll just have to wait until somebody wants to pay the way at this point. But the way things are going, that might happen. Yeah, Chris, Aussie spiders are pretty gnarly. That's correct. Hypnosis. I wouldn't suggest trying that on Eva. You see that one on Blindside? Australia almost has a litter problem with gold. I don't think it would have a litter problem for too long. I'm sure you have some kind of indigent people who will pick it up, just like the aluminum cans, you know? So, I mean, Australia's one place. I want to go to New Zealand sometime for the scenery. It just looks really awesome there. There's a lot of places I would love to go, and for the scenery, for the fishing, stuff like that. Spiders is a learned fear. Yeah, well, she learned it very, very well.
Yeah. I learned it very, very well. Long story.
I love to fish, and there's lots of places where the fishing is a lot better than Tucson, Arizona. I guarantee you that. We also want to go see some rocket launches too. And both Texas and Florida have good fishing around. When we were traveling during the summer with my mom, for those of you who don't know, my mom was a teacher and loved to travel. So we'd be heading out like a week after school closed and be back about a week before school opened. I've been all over this country. I remember one time me and my brother were trying to catch garfish down there in New Orleans. There's this little drainage ditch behind the KOA campground, and I mean there were garfish there. You could see like 4 or 5 feet of garfish rolling on the surface, and you could not see the tail and the head. And we're like, sweet, let's try and hook one of these. So we had a big, our biggest pole, and garfish have teeth, so we couldn't. They just kept. We were catching bluegill and then using them for bait, and they cut them off. So we took a piece of it was small steel cable we found somewhere, not nearly small enough to make a good leader, but we made one out of that and put a bluegill on it. After about a half an hour or so, finally, all of a sudden that bobber just stopped and then went underwater like that. Weren't able to set the hook, but the water moved a lot when we tried. That was fun. There's a kind of catfish down in Florida in the salt water that's just covered with slime. I don't know what you call them, but I mean, when you catch one, you bring it in. I mean, like the bottom foot of your line is just covered with snot. Like, we were young enough that quite often we didn't need a fishing license. So I mean, we've caught trout in Banff National Park and Jasper National Park, Canada. Say we've gone fishing across the South. Not very much. I mean, we were traveling mainly, but Mom would make an effort to find a KOA with either a pool or fishing or both. So she liked to travel about 300 miles a day. So you're traveling 6-8 hours and then park. for the night. So we'd have plenty of time for that, and she could rest. She didn't like to really, crank out the miles. And we've been to a lot of places. Yeah, Goldstream, man, those serious mountains up there, the Canadian Rockies and stuff, it's so beautiful. For fishing for trout, we found the best thing to do is have some very small hooks, water bobbers, and catch whatever the hell is flying. Up at Moraine Lakes in Banff, horseflies, live horsefly was the way to do it. And in Jasper, it was mayflies. We found some mayflies. Worked great. Just throw it out there in front of the trout that you can see swimming around in the lake. Twitch it a little. Wham. Yeah, fly tying kit would be fine, but I'm perfectly happy with live bait. I haven't done. Now my brother, he's got the coordination and stuff to do the fly fishing with a fly pole. You can use a water bobber and a spinning pole, which is my favorite way of fly fishing. And depending upon the kind of fish, you can use lures. Brown trout go after lures. My brother used to live in the White Mountains of Arizona, and there was a particular lake, I forget which one it was. He says, you go out there on, I believe it was a moonlit night, at about 2:00 in the morning with an 8-inch Rapala. And what you do is you stand way back from the shore, throw it out there, and then drag it in all the way up onto the beach. You do not stop just out there. You just, work it all the way up onto the beach. And he says sometimes they'd hit it like a foot off of the beach. And we're talking, 10, 15-pound browns. Yeah, my brother's fairly decent with a fly pole. I like spinning poles. I tend to snarl casting poles up. Brother and I used to go down like every spring down to Mexico and go bass fishing with some guys. We never were the competition for that. It was like a small private little tournament, just some businessmen from the El Centro, California area. We had a lot of fun. And Eva just doesn't want me going into Mexico at this point. We don't have the money anymore either, with the kettle corn business dying off. We don't have the money for that stuff. Gosh, you need $1,000 for 10 days of fishing. But we did have some fun down there. One time, Randy's engine, he has a bass boat, and we're getting an engine warning light on. Engine warning was going on. We weren't sure exactly what it was. So we stopped, and it was a windy day. I mean, windy, like 30-mile-an-hour windy sort of day. And we kind of parked off of the channel there, figuring as people are coming back, we can kind of wave someone down. Maybe somebody will be able to help us or tow us or figure out what's going on. We didn't know. It was such a windy day, everyone was just tunnel vision right ahead of them as they were headed home. So it came a time where we're like, I don't think anyone else is coming past. We're going to have to try and make it ourselves. So we motored out into the channel there, and we had a bimini top. It's a collapsible canvas top. And we flipped it over on the bow and stood it up with a landing net and took the motor and just dipped the end of the skeg of the motor into the water so we could use that as a rudder. And by God, we were moving pretty good. We were probably getting 2 knots out of that thing. and we could steer, 15 degrees either side of the wind. And because it was a reservoir in a canyon, basically, the wind is always following the canyon. We were making our way back. We were almost annoyed when we finally got somebody on the radio so they could talk us through the issue, because we were like, oh, this can be hilarious. We show up to camp, sailing a bass boat. No, we have not been fishing on the Columbia River in Oregon. It's a pretty big river. I know the sturgeon are enormous there. We've done fishing on Puget Sound. We've had fun doing that. Eva likes a kayak. She likes a small boat. And then now, could you sail upwind? No. It was definitely a square rigger. Oh, pretty cool first. Man, this guy's smart. Him and Chris are going to take over the world, probably. Man, I feel so inadequate. That's okay. I have fun. Yeah, I really enjoy fishing. And, maybe when we're in Helen, we'll find somebody who likes fishing too and can take us out and show us the good spots. And go from there. Missouri, you're definitely going to have trout. No salmon. I don't know what else you have in the Missouri up by Helena. Not sure. Might make you a test dummy. Well, thank you, Chris. I have been getting a lot of practice bouncing lately. It hasn't been working too good, though. That'd be interesting to see, Smoking. Have you ever noticed if you're dredging like that, are the fish in your tailings munching on the stuff that you're sucking up? I remember one time on the Boise with Mike there's two really big rocks. I mean, these are bigger than boulders. These are like almost house-sized rocks. And there was a gap between them. It slid off the mountainside. And he was dredging up to that gap. And all of a sudden I heard him yell through the snorkel, "Holy crap!" And he's like, whitefish this big, Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I would think they would, because you're dredging up the bottom, and so you're going to be, hellgrammites and things like that should be just drifting downstream and be like a floating buffet. Okay, Robert, that's a bit ambiguous. Okay, Earl. It doesn't surprise me a bit. I say that's what I would expect to happen. Because why the hell should they just turn down a free feed like that? It's like, damn, I usually got to cruise around looking in the rocks, find one of them things. It takes me a while. And now I'm just sitting here cruising and just getting a little slack current here and watch them go by and eat off the buffet. That's what I've heard. I don't know if I can use your name. We may get shut down, but T2020.
Geotus. Geotus 2020.
But yeah, I would think that was it. We didn't spend a lot of time looking in our tailings when we were sluicing, when we were dredging. But I really enjoy fishing. I just haven't had much time. Too busy trying to put food on the table other ways. Gas in the tank. You can't put gas in the tank with a fishing pole, unfortunately. But before Eva and I are too old to really enjoy it, I have plans to put a boat on top of the Bago too, and go places and paddle around.
Hi, Jake.
Is Jake there?
Yep. He just popped in.
Oh, there he is. Hi, Jake. But so far we've been too busy trying to pay for the necessities to have too much fun, time and fun on the recreation. Luckily, with the gold mining, I kind of get both at once. I enjoy it enough that it's like recreation. Upper Peninsula, giant muskies. Yeah, those look pretty fun to catch if they're on the bite.
Well, I heard smoked sturgeon tastes really good. If we ever catch a sturgeon anywhere.
I don't know. I have no idea. Smoked anything's probably fairly decent. Muskies are basically like a pike, so they should taste pretty good. Pike's a pretty good firm white meat.
Yeah, I like decent tasting fish.
Yeah, business does come first, unfortunately. I mean, I like to have a little more balanced life, but our business, even I have fun doing business, so to speak, with the mining stuff. So I'm not complaining, but I would like to have some just fun times.
What's the weirdest food you've ever eaten, Bear?
I usually don't do too much for the weird food.
Rattlesnake.
Yeah, rattlesnake, beef brains, variety of organ meats, but all cooked. I think I've tried sushi once or twice. Didn't really like it.
Cowboy chips. What do they taste like, Bear? You've got questions here.
Cowboy chips. I don't know what is a cowboy chip. What do they taste like? Well, beef brains is very, very soft. It's not a very flavorful food. Used usually just dredge them in flour, slice them thin after pulling the membranes and washing them.
Yeah, you got the name wrong there, Blindside. I think we're talking about Rocky Mountain oysters or something related to them. And who in the world eats live baby crabs? That is just weird.
Apparently Chris.
Okay, so you're eating live crabs. Yeah.
Crunchy. I've had raw oysters. I don't know if that's odd. They taste okay. As long as
I had lamb's testicles. Does that count?
I'm sure it did to the lamb.
I've had scrapple. I've had.
Yeah. I have one of my daughters lives in North Carolina, and they have like Southern food, which is, there's two kinds of food in the South, fried and deep fried. That was one time I was eating with my son-in-law breakfast, and I mean, dude can eat, but I mean, he had things like, typical eggs and ham, and then fried pig brains and grits. I think he mixed them together.
Why would anybody eat a scorpion? Come on now. That's just silly.
Scorpion? No, never tried anything like that.
Well, I saw that there were videos online of people eating deep fried spiders. Ain't going there. Never. I don't care.
You don't care if they're fried. They're still after you, huh?
Scorpion suckers I have seen. I don't know why anyone would want to eat one, but I have seen one.
It's just a, what do you call it? It's a marketing thing, you know? And
Like those tequila worms.
yeah, let's see.
Does snake taste like chicken? It did not taste like chicken to me. I will say that.
I think basically you're just talking about it's a fairly light flavor and a stringy texture a little bit is all. I mean, the texture is fairly similar to chicken, but the flavor is not that much at all. So however you
Snake
season.
tastes like a fish tank. Yes, Aries, you are right. To me, it tasted like a fish tank.
Tantalizing tarantula testicles. I don't think you'd have to eat a lot.
Tarantulas have testicles, and I won't eat them anyway.
Yeah,
No.
I've had alligator. It tastes like fishy chicken to me. I've had frog legs.
Gulfstream, trust me, 99.99% of my food is absolutely normal.
Yeah. Alligator. I mean, I'd rather have frog legs than alligator because while the frog legs taste a little fishy, it's just like chicken with a delicate fish flavor too. But alligator has kind of a muddy fish flavor to it, at least what I had. So.
Well, duck isn't weird at all, but if you want to eat weird shit, look up haggis one of these days. Nobody in their right mind would eat that. At least not as far as I'm concerned.
We used to have an employee. They used to have something called the Highland Games here. I don't know if they still do. But he said 2 rules about the Highland Games. 1, don't eat the haggis. 2, don't enter the caper catching contest. For those of you who don't know, a caper is a big pole about 12 feet long that they throw. Well, YouTube, you're on my channel. Of course, it's the weird side.
I've had dog biscuits, Aries. Some of them are not bad.
I've heard that Frisky's sauce cubes are pretty good.
I like eating things with hooves too. That's what we had for Christmas dinner, pot roast.
I mean, I've had beef kidney gravy on mashed potatoes, and I really liked it. You parboil the kidneys, and that gets rid of the unpleasant aroma and stuff.
Well, I never tried kibble myself. I did try a dog biscuit once. Hey, the weirdest thing I ever ate was fried worms. Okay. I did it. I ate fried worms, and guess what? Worms do not taste that bad. They actually are pretty darn good.
If you say so.
Well, yeah, fried worms. Why not?
There's something called sour grass that Eva showed me one time. It tasted pretty good.
Yeah, it's actually wild sorrel. They called it sour grass when I was a kid. See, Blindside tried fried worms too. Of course. Remember the book, How to Eat Fried Worms?
No.
You read the book, you just got to try it. Chris says, I think we all did.
Cat food out of a can, how did it taste? I mean, it's perfectly healthy, of course. Tripe, okay, I've had, what do you call it? Menudo, which is tripe. Now it's good, as long as it's not too spicy.
Well, I read the book, How to Eat Fried Worms, and naturally, in the interest of science, I had to try this shit. I mean, that's just science, dude. It's kind of a thing.
Idaho says you're a tougher woman than he is. Actually, she's more of a woman than you two. Idaho. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not one of these people that really is like, man, that sounds really weird. Let me taste it. Yeah, it's not my usual thing.
Things that crawl shouldn't be eaten. Well, they're not kosher. I will give you that, Goldstream. Depends on what the things that crawl are. If they have 8 legs, they should be stomped into oblivion or nuked from orbit. Bye, Jake. See you later.
Bye, Jake. No, I don't know if you know this or not, but deer can crawl. They can do a low crawl.
Yeah, the whole childbearing thing kind of sucks. Trust me on this one.
Yep. No, it's I'm fairly conventional in my food preferences. It's a bit annoying on this low carb diet because I like freshly baked bread and potatoes and rice and stuff like that too. Let's see, deer have hooves though, so they pass. Okay, so they can crawl as long as they have hooves. They can crawl. Okay, got it.
Depends on the flying things. No bats. I would not want to eat a bat.
I mean, big fruit bat. A lot of meat on that rascal.
No thanks. I don't eat bats.
I'm not a huge fan of fish in general. I mean, it's not horrible, but I'm the guy with the lemon juice and ketchup, with the fried
no
fish.
mask restrictions or mandates. Cool.
Excellent. Well, there's a reason we're going to Montana, Cheyenne. That's one of them. No, I'm not going to have stink bug. Nope, don't want to do a grasshopper. Although I heard fried grasshoppers, fried crickets and stuff, they're perfectly nutritious. Don't want to find out. Just the curiosity's not there.
The curiosity is lacking.
Are there any gold mining questions at this point? Is there anywhere out there going, I don't know what to say, but they have a gold mining question? Jump right in. I tell you what, the mosquitoes in some places of the Everglades kind of suck too. Although I hear up in Kanukistan, they can get ridiculous.
Silver's up $1 tonight, huh?
Huh.
Goldstream has a mining question.
Okay.
Where's the gold?
Yonder.
There's your answer. Yonder.
It's yonder. Yep.
I don't think anybody knows where the gold is. If we knew, we wouldn't be sitting around. We'd be mining it.
No, I do know where there's a lot of places that have gold. I'm just trying to find one that has sufficient concentration and other conditions to make the gold mining easily profitable.
The website for checking out defined claim status there, Idaho wants to know.
The LR 2000 on the BLM. Okay, that's the one that covers the federal mining claim status. LR 2000. BLM.
Right now, 2020, we are in Arizona. I don't know if there's anything nearby for sale at the moment.
What? Who? Where?
2020 wants to know where we were located and are there any claims nearby for sale. Right now, we're in Arizona. I don't know whether there's anything around for sale at the moment. When we get to Montana, we'll find out.
I don't know of any good claims for sale. There was one that was interesting that Jason took an option on. iBreak for Bedrock offered it. I would be very, very cautious on any group that sells mining claims for a business because they usually don't care whether the mining claim has anything on it or not. I don't think a single mosquito can haul you off, Squadron, but they can gang up on you. I hear they can theoretically drink all your blood in about 4 hours. There's so many of them there. Yeah, that is correct, Idaho. Oh, I'm just kind of tired because it's been 3 days of work. I mean, like dawn to dusk work. And this is down in the southern part of the country where even in the winter, dawn to dusk is like 11 hours. So yeah, it's been, I mean, we were hauling that stuff into the trailer after sundown, weren't we, yesterday, little one? Or was that clouds?
That was just about sundown there.
Yeah. Yeah, Eva was pulling them up in there, and I was just kind of guiding them. But of course, she was using a winch. So that made it a lot easier.
Yeah, that button was hard to push, I'll tell you that.
I'm not sure what is out there that might be exactly what you're looking for, smoking. Usually it's multiple videos. They'll be focusing on, like, claiming and claim searches and prospecting and like that. It's a fairly complicated subject for a single video. Well, that would be kind of nice, Ethan, if the new MLRS will actually work well. We'll see. Dawn to dusk up north is 22 hours. Not in winter, it's not first. Christmas time. I know you're not tripping. Dawn to dusk up there right now is like from 1 to 2 in the afternoon.
The shortest day of the year in Washington State where we were was 8 hours, just under 8 hours.
None, Chris. Just what was on my hands. Again, just.
Now in summer, the longest day of the year in Washington was over 16 hours. And that is when I learned the world was round.
Yeah, winging it. All I can say officially on Gold Rush Expeditions is double check everything they say, because I have verified certain things that were, or actually I have checked certain things that they were not accurate on. And that's all I will say. But buyer beware.
That is the case with anyone. Caveat emptor.
But that's the way it should be with any gold mining claim. Always verify everything. And say their job is to sell mining claims. I mean, think about it. If your job was to sell mining claims and you found that it was really, really good, would you sell it or would you work it? Or would you put it on the open market where you call your friend Joe up and say, hey, Joe, I finally got that one you were looking for, That would be great, Goldstream. That would be nice. Yep, Chris, agreed. Four and a half hours, yeah, wouldn't be surprised. We lived up in Washington, right on the Canadian border. Yeah, it was pretty short in the winter and pretty long in the summer.
It was just under 8 hours on the winter solstice, just over 16 hours on the summer.
Hey, Blindsight, glad to see you. I hope the project works out well. Yeah, T2020, that is basically what I, do a number of times. People say, okay, I want to look at this claim. I'll look at it, sample it. And that's the key, is the sampling. Because it doesn't matter what happened in the past, that's just an indication. And so you need to sample what's still there. And, sample what there's, because as a general rule, if they were making good money mining it, they didn't stop because they got tired of making money, I understand, Goldstream. I enjoy making the videos, though. A friend of mine once said, I have the teaching gene, Yeah, I agree, Chris. That's a good strategy, winging it. Look for a mine with a good history that was shut down in 43. Yeah, Goldstream, basically like, where do you find good deer? Where people have found good deer in the past. But you still got to look for them. One nice thing about where we're going up to in Montana is there are quite a few significant size old gold mines up there. These are some of, they moved a lot of rock. So that's good. Well, first, I don't know. I enjoy it. you know, um, it makes me feel good when somebody says, "Hey, what you told me, it really helped me out a lot." Just the way I am. I'm also not selfish enough to be highly successful. You know, there's a lot smarter people than me, T2020, but a lot of them are getting paid, 6 and 7 figure incomes working for big mining companies. Yeah, Goldstream. I've heard Canada's much more organized than we are down here on that stuff. Well, Robert, we'll do what we can. Do you have any particular questions we can answer? Yeah, they're flooded. The portals are caved in. Timbers are rotten. All kinds of things can make it difficult or impossible to do proper exploration. Then you have to just do the best you can, combine it with the old records, and decide whether or not it's worth the effort to do it safely. But the best mine in the world doesn't do you any good if you're dead or, badly crippled up. So safety's number one. That would depend on whether it's rock or, eroded breccia or whatever. As general rule, a screw auger is only going to be able to penetrate the decomposed surface materials. They've been weathered and softened and like that. There's nothing that an auger can do that you can't do with a pick and shovel. Drills are a different matter, but you have to be able to get them collared into good solid rock so that the hole stays open on you. But an actual auger, I think a pick and shovel will be easier to carry up to where you need to do the sampling. And the auger is not going to do you a lot of good. I think initially, Chris, he can get the sampling he needs just surface sampling. If the surface sampling shows something, then drilling, might be indicated. The situation he's looking at, first of all, there's a mine on the other side of the valley, but there's a structure on the other side of the valley that looks interesting. But since there's already a mine sitting there, if it was really hot or whatever, they likely would have dug something on there. They're always looking for a better spot. Not a guarantee, but it was an interesting structure that's worth examining. But I wouldn't spend a lot of money examining it at this point. Not allowed to dig a hole deeper than 4 feet now, huh? Kind of sucks if there's 5 feet of soil, huh? Okay, Robert. Here's my email address, hardrocku@outlook.com. So I say, if you can email me what you want to talk about or whatever, or a phone number, then we can see about a more in-depth conversation. And you have to use a spoon? Define a spoon. I presume that's a kind of tool. Yeah, Chris, and you have to be able to collar in solid material too. You know, trying to go through soil is not very easy to do. You pretty much have to put some kind of casing in there. Oh, you're not supposed to write that down, Goldstream. Yeah, at this point, Idaho, I just pick and shovel to see what the heck is there. Get down to the top of the bedrock, get a few samples, and get an idea at that point. If there's nothing there, then you've saved a lot of money and effort. If there is, now you got a better idea of what you're trying to do. Hold back up now. Okay, on the bottom there, hardrocku@outlook.com. Oh, okay. Well, you know, the BC government requires taxes to operate, and if people don't make any money, they can't pay any taxes. And it's surprising to me that the government officials haven't figured this one out very well yet. As Bill Whittle said last week, they need us more than we need them. You know, if they want to be so difficult to deal with, you know, they don't want to deal with us, fine. Don't. See how long they last. It would depend on how much disturbance you're looking at, Goldstream. If you're just doing a notice of intent for exploration work and it's relatively minor, it might take a couple of months. If you're looking for a plan of operations, it can be a year or two, and that's assuming they go with it and don't find some reason to say, no, we don't want you to. So, you know, we'll see. Yeah, first, but I don't think they realize where all this winds up. Either that or they don't care. There are some potential consequences of such behavior that have been, you know, stated with greater depth and clarity than me. And if their primary consideration isn't health concerns, the secondary considerations, they're either totally ignorant or pretty malevolent. And we shall see which one. Yeah, Goldstream, it doesn't surprise me. Again, bureaucrats, they get paid for doing whatever, pushing paperwork. They don't understand. Other people only get paid for success. You know, if I don't produce, I don't get paid. That's the way it is. Now, they just don't understand that. Yeah, so do I, Goldstream. Yeah, that's... It kind of sucks when you have a real small season and you get the permit a month after the end of the season. That would be unpleasant. That's why a lot of the stuff I do, I try and size for below permit requirement sort of things. You know, micro mining can often get in under the plan of operations window if you state you're simply doing exploration work and testing. And then the permitting becomes much, much less onerous. If you want good information on American mining permitting stuff, The California Mining Journal recently had an article, I think it was a December issue, if I'm not mistaken. Which one is that? Oh, this one's September. Yeah, I think it was the December issue. Had an article on actually the permitting situation that was pretty well written. The gentleman who wrote that article seemed pretty knowledgeable. And yeah, down here kind of it does, but there's different kinds of permitting. You got notice of intent, which is basically exploration, and plan of operations, which is basically exploitation. So yeah, Chris, he's right. If you can process it off site, that reduces a lot of the requirements, especially if you're digging it from underground. Because in the United States, it's surface disturbance that's the key. If, say, you had an old mine, a big old mine, and you could use your tailings for backfill and use electric motors and get some good ventilation for the dust and keep it all underground, yeah, you'd almost be no permit required. Your permit would be the generator on the surface. That'd be about it. And the reason they turned it into a national monument was to prevent exploitation. Yep. They are not conservationists, they're preservationists. Guy I know pretty well, Dad sold his farm to Pima County to turn it back into desert. I think they paid him like 10 or 15 million bucks to buy, don't quote me on the numbers, but it was like 10 or 15 million bucks to buy a 100-acre farm and turn it into desert. Now that is a wonderful use of tax dollars, isn't it? To take something that's productive, making money for people, producing tax revenue, paying property taxes, and turning it into a liability. That only government does stuff that's stupid. Yep. Where is that, Aries? Is that California or Nevada? Yep. New Mexico. Yeah, they're getting pretty left-wing too. I don't know, man. Weird world we live in. That's why we're headed the hell up to Montana. Shop at Walmazon. That's good. I like that. Yeah, Goldstream, and they were talking about secession too. I think that would be hilarious. Because I guess in Canada, because of the Quebecois, you're allowed to vote to secede. And Alberta and Saskatchewan might be better off if they did. With BC to soak up any foreign invaders, you got the Arctic Ocean up north and you got the United States beneath you. You'd be pretty safe from invasion. And I mean, you're funding the Canadian government now. Why bother? They're not your friend. I thought that was a pretty good. I mean, some guys were suggesting becoming, like the 51st state. I'm like, I'd wait for the United States to get their act together better, but that's an interesting thought. That would be hilarious. Yeah, I presume that y'all have heard of the 3S method of endangered species management: shoot, shovel, and shut up. Uh, yeah, that's generally the way it is, Goldstream. Oh.
Oh, wow.
What? Is there anything you can say on YouTube?
He signed the omnibus bill and everybody is freaking out, and I am trying to explain to people that it's not like it makes a damned bit of difference.
In terms of what?
It already had a veto-proof majority. If
Yeah.
it had pocket vetoed, if it had vacated without a signature on it, they just would have voted on it and passed it again anyway. And he has requested rescission, as is a legal thing.
Oh, okay. Would digging an adit by hand require a plan of operations? Not necessarily. Especially if you can throw the spoils into some other underground workings right there or haul them off. You might get by with nothing or just a notice of intent. Depends on the scale that you're operating and how much surface disturbance you have. Yeah, I agree, Gold. Especially as you got a lot of resources you could sell if you were allowed to. And then you'd be very wealthy because it would all be internal. You might be able to get some kind of special deal to be the 51st state. I don't know. I know there's a big multi-billion-dollar power plant in a little town called Joseph City in northern Arizona, and between Holbrook and Winslow, and they specifically worked a deal before they built the power plant to where they were incorporated into Joseph City, which only has a few hundred, like maybe 500 or 1,000 people. And they got a very low tax rate, but with that one company, Arizona Public Services, big giant multi-billion-dollar power plant with a very low tax rate, they got like 70 high school students in their own indoor Olympic swimming pool. Oh, Chris says there was just a glitch in the matrix. Okay. So, I don't know what else to chat about here. We've done food, we've done the traveling, we've done some gold mining, and we got a couple places to stay on the way up to Montana to kill a little time while still meeting our schedule. And so that's pretty good. So that was a very successful stream. I didn't know next week. Let's see, first is on a Friday, I believe. Second is on Saturday. And therefore, theoretically, we'll be traveling on Sunday. So I may do a live stream on Saturday next week. So everyone just be aware. You talking to me, Chris, or somebody else? When were we leaving again? Theoretically, the 3rd of January is the current schedule, although it could slip for a number of reasons, but we don't want to slip too much. We would like to be either at or north of Salt Lake City by the 6th due to extraneous events that may make life complicated. So that's the plan. Thoughts on metal detectors? Where you're going, Idaho? If there was nuggets there, they probably would have done some plastering. And since they didn't, it's kind of a good indication. Now, if you have a metal detector and know how to use it, or you can get access to one, it never hurts. But in terms of whether or not you're going to actually locate anything, the odds are kind of less than average in a normal area. I think he said there was some plastering down below that, but that's, if you can find a metal detector up there. I mean, if there's somebody who's got one, you can borrow it or whatever, a good, like a gold bug 2 or a gold monster or something. Why not? It can't hurt. Chris, I set it up an hour and a half before the thing, because that's when I was basically in, and I went to the grocery store after I set up the stream, but I'll see what I can do. Yes, I know Goldstream. It's not our choice. Say other events are driving our actions here. I presume you would, Argonaut. That's my understanding. If it's a big project, you might get a bonding company to put it up, but generally for something small, it's only a few $1,000s anyway. It's not, it won't tap to the top, but if you tilt the pan and tilt the pan and tap it while it's angled, at about 100 mesh, it zips down to the bottom. The smaller than 100 mesh tends to stick to the pan up at the top while other stuff leaves, the lighter materials and the coarser gold. But by looking at the two different bits of gold under a pencil microscope with a reticle in it, it was running at about 100 microns. I mean, about 5/1000ths of an inch. It was the thing. The split point, which, if I'm not mistaken, is basically at about 100 mesh. But I did it at the time, and it was 100 mesh was where the split point seemed to be. Well, Robert, I'm glad you were here. Any geologic maps of the area you'll be in yet? I've seen some stuff on the internet. There's been reports written on the area and such that I've read. And, again, I can't discuss details because I have not been given permission to. Okay, Robert, you've got a gold bug 2. That's a pretty good machine. Historical document. Again, some. Not on the particular mine we're looking at. Well, Goldstream, that's just damn lucky. Be that way. You haven't found anything since. And that's damn unlucky. You're welcome, Argonaut. Yep. I say, from what I understand, I don't have one, but I understand the Gold Bug 2 and the Gold Monster are both pretty good machines. I've seen a Gold Bug 2 find some pretty small stuff, but I wasn't running it. I've got a MineLab 5000, and it's a pain in the ass to use. Oh, dearie. I'm working so hard. Next 3 days, I'll get plenty of rest, though, because once I shut down the unit, I'll just be sleeping out there. It saves me 3 hours work a day putting things up and getting it back out again. I think that's really important, Aries. If it's not simple to use, you need to be a someone who does it all the time and really cares. If you do it occasionally, you want to buy it, Robert? My brother's selling it for like $2,500. I agree, Idaho. You know, it's fun. That's one of the big things. As long as you go in it with the right attitude, you always win because at least you have a good time. And Robert, I'm not sure what all set means. Does that mean you'd like to do the deal or not? Not sure. We don't have our own claims up in Montana. There's a gentleman there that has some claims. We did exploration for this summer, and he wants some more work done. A couple other guys have claims up there that would like some work done. And yes, it is a good price, Robert. My brother sells kettle corn, and you can't sell much kettle corn with COVID. Yeah, I agree, Aries. That's basically what it is. I actually get paid to go have fun, which is even better yet. I mean, I'm happy with that. Okay, do you have my email, Robert? Yeah, the Falcon can find some pretty small gold, but yeah, the field that it examines is pretty darn small, Chris. All right, Earl. Thank you for coming. Bounty Hunter Pioneer, huh? When did they build that? Winging it? Okay. Just email me then. It may be a few days before I get back to you because, again, I'm going to be in the field basically babysitting a fireworks stand, and the plan is to just sleep out there overnight. So we'll see what happens. I may get really bored out there and want to come in. We'll see. But I'll probably be home New Year's Eve around midnight. Thanks, Robert. You say you're staying safe. I presume that means you're in a risk group. And if you are, stay safe. That's important. Yeah, that would be an interesting thought, Chris, for hard rock especially. I'll be careful, Idaho. Does anyone know what the rules are in terms of transporting firearms in your vehicle in Utah? I know in Arizona, I'm fine. Yeah, Robert, you need to be careful. But I'm not sure. I think in Idaho, it needs to have like 2 mechanical operations to make it fire in order to transport it. You know, like say if you had an empty chamber on the 44 in the first round, it goes click, it hits an empty chamber, then you got to do it again. That's 2 mechanical operations, but I'm not sure. None in Idaho. That's good. I presume there's none in Montana. Anyone know for sure in Montana what the rules are? Oh, sorry, Idaho. You meant Utah, right? Okay. I say that's good because I don't, I'll usually carry my 44 in the cab with me because it's easiest to deploy, in tight quarters like that. But aside from the 22, it's the least lethal of the things I have. Well, don't have a big selection, but it's pretty versatile. Good for self-defense, gathering food, whatever you need to do, whatever size food you need to gather. Okay, Aries, thank you. I think it might have been Nevada where you have to have 2 mechanical operations. Not sure. Hello, mining magnets. For those of you who don't know, this is the guy that had the roly-poly magnetic separator that I tested the other day. It looked really sweet. I liked it. Snake loads for the first round. Yeah, that works. Yeah, when I'm up in Montana, I take out the 44 specials in the first two rounds and replace them with the 44 mags. I usually don't put it under my seat. In Arizona, if it's in the holster, you can, of course they don't have concealed carry here either. I mean, it's like, it's constitutional. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, Goldstream. Pistols, evil, God's, the devil's work, but, against the bear, a 44 is a little light, if anything. That's why they invented the Smith & Wesson 50. We got bear spray, too. A 12 gauge with slugs works real well. I heard the Goldstream tell me if this is the standard procedure up there. My brother said standard procedure is first round bird shot to the face to blind it and then start laying in the slugs until it stops moving. No, they just don't care about someone dumb enough to get eaten by a bear, Okay, sounds interesting, Robert. Yeah, I agree first. But yeah, the 44 is a nice versatile weapon. It's not very concealable, and if you don't practice a lot, which I haven't, now, Idaho, be careful. If you don't want to get a second strike. So where you're at, Goldstream, do they use the bird shot for the first round in an attempt to blind them, or not? I said, my brother's never been up north. He's just, talking to people who have. Well, Aries, I would suggest you don't use too much of it right now. I'm just sitting on what I got. Okay. I guess Chris says we're straying into a minefield here.
Yeah.
So we best frolic away. I need to frolic to bed anyhow because I've been working so hard lately. I know it's kind of shutting the chat down early. It's only been 2 hours and 15 minutes, So we'll go ahead and call it a night. And I'm going to try and do another live stream on Saturday because that's when I'll have the time. Theoretically, Sunday we'll be rolling. We'll see what happens. All righty. So Y'all take care. I've got a couple emails I'll be answering probably tomorrow morning. Y'all take care. Thanks for everything. Happy prospecting and keep it safe out there. Yes.